Students, welcome once again to this channel. We are learning the first chapter in biology. In continuity of that, today also we see the rest of the portion. Third, choose the best answer type. Plants throw out solid waste through their dash, leaves and bark. As we throw out our waste by means of sweat through sweat glands, plants also throw out their solid waste through their leaves and bark. Fourth one, things that produce a response or reaction are termed stimuli. Things that produce a response or reaction are termed stimuli. Next one is the process by which organisms move from place to place is called locomotion. 4 options are given. The right one is locomotion. Next one is true or false. Number 1, all organisms are made of cells. We know pretty well that all organisms are made of cells. So this statement is true. Second one, plants do not respond to stimuli. This is false because we all know that plants respond to stimuli. Third one, non-living things cannot move on their own. This is correct. Unless and otherwise we move them off, non-living things like table, stone and other things, they cannot move on their own. So this statement is true. Fourth one, all plants grow from seeds. This is false because plants grow through various modes. In some cases, we cut the stem of a plant and we plant it and a new plant arises from it. So we cannot say that all plants grow from seeds. Some plants can be grown without seeds also. So this statement is false. That is, plants grow from seeds. So we can also correct the statement. So all plants, instead of all plants, we can say that plants grow from seeds. This is correct. But we cannot say that all plants grow from seeds. The statement is false. Fifth one, all organisms do not show locomotion. Yes. There are some organisms, they don't have mobility, they don't have motion at all. They remain stationary at one place. So this statement is false. So instead of saying that, we can alter the statement and say that some organisms do not show locomotion. Yes, there are some organisms which do not show locomotion. Then answer the following. Number 1, list the characteristics by which we recognize a living being. What are the characteristics by which we can recognize a thing whether it is living or not? There are 8 points given. Let us learn one by one. Number 1, living beings are made up of cells. Number 2, living beings grow from inside. We have already learnt it. Unlike non-living things, living beings grow from inside, from within. Third one, living beings need food. Fourth one, living beings respire. What is meant by respiration? Breathing in and breathing out is called respiration. Fifth one is living beings throw out waste. That is called excretion. Throwing out of their waste is called excretion. Sixth point is living beings respond to stimuli. This also we have learnt it already. For example, if we consider the case of a mimosa pudica, that touch me not plant, the moment we touch it, it droops its leaves. So living beings respond to stimuli. Seventh one is living beings reproduce. Yes, they give birth to their young ones or they lay eggs and they hatch chicks out of them. 8th one, living beings have a definite cycle, life cycle, yes. Birth, growth, and finally they attain death. So there is a definite life cycle exists in the case of living beings. Second question, name one unicellular and one multicellular organism. Answer, unicellular organism, an example is bacteria. Multicellular organism, an example is human beings. Third question, why are animals called heterotrophs? We have already learned that autotrophs and heterotrophs. Here animals are called heterotrophs. The reason is animals depend on others for food. Unlike plants, they cannot produce their own food by means of photosynthesis. They have to depend on other animals or other plant products for food. So they are called heterotrophs. Fourth question, mention two ways in which plants respond to stimuli. So in the case of Mimosa pudica, we have already learned that. Here also they have asked us to give two ways in which plants respond to stimuli. Number one, plants respond to touch. Yes, the touch me not plant. And light. How do we know that? You might have seen plants always tend to bend towards the light when they grow. They always tend to bend towards the sunlight. So they respond to light and temperature. Temperature also play a key role in the growth of a plant. So plants respond to touch, light and temperature. Second one is, many flowers open in the morning and close in the evening. So this property of plants also is a kind of response to a stimulus. Okay, now fifth question. Name the waste products released during respiration. Carbon dioxide and water. Sixth question. Mention two ways in which animals reproduce. We have already learned that oviparous and viviparous. So some animals lay eggs. They are termed as oviparous. Others give birth to their young ones. They are termed as viviparous. Then comes the part E, explain in brief. Number one, give an example of a non-living thing that grows. How is this growth different from the growth of a living being? Give an example of a non-living thing that grows. We have already learned that like living things, non-living things also grow. For that they have asked an example. The next question is, how is this growth different from the growth of a living being? Answer, a balloon grows in size when we blow air into it. So balloon is a non-living thing. Even then it grows in size. It grows bigger and bigger. It gets inflated when we blow air into it. This growth is different from that of a living being. This growth is different from that of a living being. It happens because something is added from outside. The balloon gets inflated or grows bigger in size because something, the air is added from outside. A living being, on the other hand, grows from inside as its cells grow and multiply. In the case of a living being, the growth occurs because cells divide continuously, cell divisions take place and multiply, so the growth occurs. So the growth occurs from within, from inside. But in the case of a balloon, It grows in size bigger and bigger due to an external agent, blowing off air from outside. Next question. How do plants throw out waste? Plants throw out gases through minute pores present in their leaves. At the underside of a leaf lamina, we can see stomata, tiny pores present over there. But they cannot throw out solid waste. They can only throw out liquid waste. They cannot throw out solid waste. So they store these in parts of their body such as the leaves and bark. So the solid wastes of plants are stored in their bark, the outer part of the stem. When they shed their leaves and bark, the waste is thrown out. So how do they get rid of their wastes? As they store their solid wastes in leaves and bark, when they grow old, the leaves and barks are shed. By that time, the waste is thrown out. Next question, third question. How do plants and animals move? How do plants and animals move? How is it different from movement in non-living things? Animals can move different parts of their body. They can also move from place to place. Like as animals can move different parts of their body. They have movements on their body. At the same time, they also can move from one place to another. Moving from place to place is called locomotion. We have already studied this question. Moving from place to place is called locomotion. But in the case of plants, though plants do not show locomotion, different parts of plants show movement. Like living beings, plants don't have locomotion. What is meant by locomotion? Moving from one place to another. They don't have. But even then, like animals, they show movement in their body parts. As the wind blows, the leaves and the fronds of coconut trees, they wave in the breeze of the air. They wave in the air. So in that way they show movement. The weak stems of some climbers twine around supports. Climbers, have you come across this word or have you ever seen climbers? Gourds, bitter gourds, bottle gourds, ridge gourds, the Cucurbitaceae family. All these are climbers. They twine their tendrils around supports. The stems bend towards light. As I have already told that, phototrophic. The stems and leaves of a plant, the shoot system above the soil, they always tend to bend towards the sunlight. The leaves and flowers open and close. The opening and closing of leaves and flowers also stimulated by what? Light, and they show movement in these ways. So, movement of animals is entirely different from movements in the body parts of a plant. So, it's a brief question. So, with this, the first lesson, the first chapter has come to a close. So, keep viewing our channel, subscribe us and share it with your friends, and press the bell button for more and more notifications. Keep learning. We will be uploading all the lessons, not only biology. We are going to upload other lessons for class 6 also. So keep watching it.
Share, comment and subscribe our channel and click the bell button for more videos.